last week, and talking about the movies that you have seen while I was in Beijing. First of all, talk a little bit about the movies. The Fighting Star Yun. And yeah, you already giving your insight after watching the movies. How do you feel, Xuanru? Could you talk a little bit about? Impressive. How? How impressive?
Because
interesting or?
It touched my heart.
Touch your heart.
Yes, because
What?
Because the story was good.
Mm-hmm.
And actors or actresses are all very
Professional
yes.
or
Yes.
mm-hmm. Their acting
They
is
are
moving.
trying to show us another uncovered story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, is anything new about Aboriginal culture after you watch this movie? Anything new from this movie that you didn't know before you watch the movie? Anything new about their culture or about some facts? No? No? So, just because the story. Okay. And how about you? Cute. Aboriginal people are cute. Why? Because their way of communication. Taiwanese. Taiwanese accent. Taiwanese accent Mandarin.
It is a movie, but I think it's relating my life. Like true, not a movie.
I don't know.
It is movie, but it shows like I think it's true story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True story. So,
Not just a movie.
not just a movie. Okay. And how about you, Paul? Marcia is you. Marcia, yeah.
I like the movie because I like the story and then the culture and the place.
Mm.
And then I think from the movie I learned something new, especially their culture. Because first I don't know what the Aboriginal culture.
You never visit Aboriginal village or their community, have you? Oh, you have? What? A Sun Demon. Sun Demon is Taiwan tribe, but Sayun is Taiya, right? Taiya is located in. For example, Taiya is located about this side. Taiya. And Sun Demon is over here, is in Taiwan. different tribe. Different tribe. Taiwan, actually, Taiwan is not such a small. Actually, it should be something like here. So we can divide it into the North Taiwan and Southern Taiwan. For example, when you say thank you in Northern Taiwan, they say money. Well, sometimes we call that money in Northern Taiwan. And in Southern Taiwan, they call that masalu. Like hello or thank you, they all say masalu. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I like their way to show their culture because actually they want to show the culture from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like that way, and then I also like the story because the story I think it's a unique story. And then I also like the places because I know something different part of Taiwan. Usually I saw the Taiwan for example, in a big city, like a crowded city, but from the movie I know a different part of Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
Countries like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very near to nature.
Mm-hmm. Have you visited Oki Island? No, it's an island, an isolated island on the north, on the east part. Here, I think here, the Oki Island. Here is Tau tribe. It's located in this island. Tau. Huh? Yeah, Tau. Formerly it was called Yami tribe, but now they renamed themselves as Tau. Tau in their language means a human being. Taiwan is a human being. So usually we use their terms refer to human being as the name of their tribes. Okay, how about you? Mm-hmm.
And I love the place because I think that the people can spend their time like hiking and swimming on the river, and even though they don't have like a big mall like a supermarket, but they seem like really have fun. And,
Yeah.
And the place is very, very beautiful.
Yeah, I think everyone has the chance to find a happiness from their neighborhood, not just because of the video game. Yeah. Okay. And how about you? You? Huh? You didn't see that? Please say aloud. You can remember that. So you should have you handed the paper, the inside paper. Yeah, after watching the movie, I said that you have to hand in the paper. Yeah, because I one paper missing, so maybe yours. Yeah, you should hand in about 500 words inside paper. The reaction paper about this movie. Okay. Okay. Please hand in next week. Okay. So you can go to the library to check it out, or you can watch the movie in the library before you write and remind your memory. Okay. Okay. How about our visit last week to Bawang Temple? what impressed you most when you visit the temple? Yeah, especially you both. Yeah, now you first.
I think the architecture inside the temple is very good.
Yeah, yeah. It costs a lot of money, you know, and lot of hours, days to sculpt, to sculpture the architectures. And some of their works done has been done in mainland China, because they hire many carpenters in China to do that, and then it costs less than they done that in Taiwan. Have you been to the Sanxia in Xinbei City? Sanxia, there is a Sanxia. There's a, I don't know how to call the temple. 祖师清水祖师庙. If you have chance, please visit this temple in Sanxia. This temple has been rebuilt, and the architecture takes over 40 years to sculpture all the architectures. It takes almost the whole life of a master Li. There's a master who is in charge of the reconstruction of this temple, called Li Mei Su. Master Li. Almost all his life has been devoted to the decoration of this temple. So now it's a masterpiece of art. So not just a temple. So please, you have to, you are suggest to visit the temple in Xinbei City. Okay, and what impressed you most? Yeah, where you visit Bao'an temple. You just mentioned, and you.
I also like
The architecture. Have you seen the drone?
Oh, yeah.
And throw the blocks. How do you think that you have the similar customs in your culture?
It's different. I think the way that like a draw, I think it's very unique because
Very unique.
Because that you said that if we to the second one, the second one symbols that the God is in the temple, and then or maybe our prayer is heard by the God. I think it's very unique because actually I'm a Catholic, and then if you want to pray, I just pray. I don't think it's in I don't mind if the God is in
Listen
or
now.
yeah, I just pray and then it just do it.
How do you think? Yeah, this is a way that Taiwanese or Chinese sometimes we personalize the God as a human being. So actually, these gods are persons in the novels, sometimes in the novels or sometimes in history. They're really a person who is called for example, Guan Gong, or Confucius, or the Wang Ye, the emperor's brothers. They actually are all Mazu or Guan Shi, the Buddhism, but sometimes in Taoism, yeah, we also worship Guan Shi. They really exist for a certain time in history. After they die, because of their behavior, their some stories, and people respect them. So after they die, and then they divine these people as a god or goddess. So they used to be a person. They used to be persons. So we need some way to communicate with them. So this is a way that we figure out how when you pray or when you send some request, and you need to know the answer from the God or the goddess. So, but it's not easy for you to get an answer. Yeah. So sometimes you must have patience. And how about you? What impressed you most? You? The draw. Stay. Yeah. The 光明灯。Actually, it's not a bomb. It's not a bomb. I think it looks like dragons climbing along a stand, along a stellar, 柱子 stellar. 白色。You sometimes they put colors, but actually it's a sculpture from the rock. So it's a true color. Oh yeah. Because now it's winter. So you mean that there's no water?
Before I go to the winter island, there is no bridge and one pond and just temple.
Oh yes. Because it's located in the middle of a pond, so they have a bridge. They must have a bridge. Yeah. Okay. To help people to approach the temple. Yeah. Okay. And how about you, Jen?
Although I have been to temples many times, but this time I finally find out how to ask the draw from the God. Yes.
So before you did that before?
I don't know
the regulations.
But I don't know how to ask the draw. Because sometimes when I went to temple, I don't know why some people take that draw. Yes. And
Under what conditions? Under what conditions that you can go to get a job?
But this finally
Actually, Mr. Xie, the introducer, that day, he correct my wrong idea, my wrong conception of all the regulations. All the regulations. So I think, his answer make the regulations a little bit simpler, than what I have saw before. In my thought, I think that you have to get 9 times straight to get this way, the yes blocks, 9 times straight. If you mix 1 time and then you have to start over again. So it's very, very difficult that in my earlier conception that you have to get 9 times straight like this. But Mr. Shea said that no, you don't have to get 9 times. You just get 3 times. 3 times. I think much easier to get that. Okay. I want to add something is about the Sayun. Sayun is a name of that girl, right? The girl's name. Have you find other stories about Sayun online, the knowledge website? Have you found out other stories about this? I located one papers who actually criticized this movie because the author said that in Japanese colonial state years, and this story is maybe the true story. The true story that the girls held her beloved teachers to carry the luggages and walk over the bridge and then drop to the rivers and die. The author say that that may be a true story, but the Japanese colonial governments take advantage of these stories to promote the behavior of the war. Because why her teachers had to leave the school? Why? Because he was enlisted. He was enlisted to be a soldier, right? He was enlisted. 他被征召了。He was enlisted. To serve as soldier. So to participate war against China, and later in the Southeast Asia. So Japanese army occupied the big parts of China, and then later Hong Kong and Southeastern Asia, right? I think they occupied part of Indonesia, right? So at that time, Taiwanese has been occupied by Japan for 50 years. So at that time, the Japanese colonial governments shot a movie. They have a movie too at that time. And then they asked all the elementary school students in Taiwan to watch the movie. Whole island students had to go to the movie theater to watch the movie. I know that movie is totally different from this movie that you just watch. But I think the story is almost the same. But maybe not so interesting. This is the way for them to promote the patriotism at that time, for the Taiwanese people to love Japan, and then think that it's a kind of expressions of the patriotism for the teachers to serve as soldiers. So the author criticized that movie. It's a kind of promotion of the war. So maybe that his bias, but not everyone likes that movie. So maybe this movie, the director used ironical way to describe the Aboriginal culture, maybe. Okay. So they even have a song. When I mentioned this story, is I want you to know that the simple stories can be utilized by people or by some authorities for their own purpose. So when you look at a story, even on newspapers, you should think about it. And you should check the truth or false of the story, because maybe sometimes use that for their own purpose. Okay? Okay, let's move to this week's topics. The festivals in Taiwan. Now we have covered from the beginning of a year. So New Year into the Moon Festival. Moon Festival is about August, according to lunar calendars. So many festivals. I think this is the biggest one. So let's start from the Chinese New Year. Okay, according to lunar calendar, in the traditional Chinese New Year's lasts for 15 days. Because in agriculture society, the lunar New Years are very long. Because at that time, during the winter, so you have time to celebrate, actually to take a rest, and the family members can take this time together. So, okay. So how about the year-end banquet? You can read a little bit about this. How do you call this? Yeah. Do you know what that means? Ya. Wei ya. Wei ya means the last banquet. Last banquet. How many ya in a year? No? In my understanding, see, the first is called Hou Ya, and then Wei Ya. And then Wei Ya. Wei Ya is the last one, the last banquet. And then this is the first banquet. First banquet. So here it originated from the businessman. Businessmen, they pay sacrifice to the earth god, to the earth god, to the earth god on the second and sixth of each lunar month. In old times. The reason for that is because the earth god is the protection god in the community. In the community. And the businessmen, they own a shop. They own a shop or a store. They need someone to protect the shop or the store, to prevent some damages from the ghost. So they every month they have two times to prepare sacrifice. What is sacrifice? Some food, some fruit to the earth god, So totally in a year there are 24 banquet. 因为一个月有2次，2、6、16。So when you walk on the street, especially in the downtown area, you will find out not a special day, but you can see the store owners. They put some tables in front of their store and put some food or some fruit, and they worship. That day must be the 2nd or the 6th day. So every month they sacrifice, they pay sacrifice twice. Okay? And then the last one is the 16th. Is the 16th of December, lunar calendar. Okay? Now we are all talking about the lunar calendar, not a solar calendar. So it's a different one. You know that? Yeah, lunar calendar. You have lunar calendar in your country? No? The calendars, you have only one calendar, right? But in Taiwan, in China, even in Japan, they have solar calendar. That's now that we are using. And then lunar calendars. For example, today is December 5th, right? December 5th. And what's the day of the lunar calendar? October. About 1 month behind. Or 22nd. So today, according to lunar calendar, is October 22nd, right? 22nd. So if you look at the traditional calendars, for example, today is the feast. They will say that feast, and then here is will be 12 here, and then here is today is Wednesday here, and then here we say and here we specify some characters. So this is lunar calendar. And this is the calendar that we are using. So the traditional calendar looks like this way. So the left side will be the lunar calendars. Okay, so the New Year, the Chinese New Year starts from the year-end banquet. And there are some special customs relating to the year-end banquet. What is it? 尾牙有什么特殊的习惯？
The boss will order the restaurant and have a big meal with their employees.
Big meal. The big meal?
Yes.
For the employees.
Yes.
The employees.
There is a chicken and
Dish. A dish of chicken.
the chicken
Head.
head
Yeah.
point to you. You have to out of the company.
In traditional Taiwanese tables, there is a round table that you can put in a rotate, right? So there's a dish. Put a whole chicken on the dish, and then when you found out the head, the chicken's head, pointing at you, that means that the boss want to get rid of you. Want to fire you next year. So, so when you say that, oh, the chicken heads are pointing at me, that means that okay, next year you are bye-bye. You are going. You have to go. But now, not anymore. Yeah. So safe. Yeah, safe. So I think now, during the banquet, there's no head on that dish. Okay, so this is a year-end banquet. So I think that will be 2 months later. You will see on the movie, on the news that many big companies would have a big, a grand banquet, and they would send for the big movie singers to sing on the banquet party, to show their wealth, to show how much money they make. And at that time, they were giving out the red bag, the red bag, and the draw. Draw for the prize. Sometimes a car, sometimes a sedan, a car. Okay, next page. Okay, December 24th is a day for each family to send a digit to stand on the deity. What deity? What kind of deity? The kitchen. The kitchen deity. 灶锅。The deity of the kitchen, back to the heaven, to report the story, to report the whole story of this family, of the whole year. So, what this family do is good or bad in the past years. The deity of kitchen. So at this time, usually, can you guess what kind of food they pay sacrifice to the deity? What kind of food? Yeah, 汤圆. Dumpling, sweet dumpling. Why? Why sweet dumpling?
Because the dumpling is sweet.
Yeah.
And the deity may say some good words to the main god.
Yeah, the deity. It's kind of bribery. 贿赂, right? It's kind of bribery. So they think that from this way, then you can know that the Taiwanese or Chinese peoples consider the goddess as like a human being. Yeah, when I treat you good, and then you may say something good about me, about my families. So that's very interesting. Very interesting that the deities can be boiled using the delicious food. And the dumpling is sticky. You know dumpling? Have you eaten the dumpling? The sweet dumpling? Round, right? And what color? What color of the dumpling? Yeah, white and pink or red. Yeah, pink or red. Only two colors. And there's a saying. Do you know that? Every bowl, when you use the 勺子要怎么讲？ To get a bowl of dumplings, usually the numbers of the dumpling will be even. Every time must be even. It's very funny. Next time when you taste the dumpling, try to count. And when we were young, we said after in this today, when you eat the dumpling, that means that you are growing for another year. Your age was added 1 year. Only you eat the dumpling, and then you can say that, okay, I'm older than last year. I'm growing 1 year. Okay, now next. December 28th and 29th. What is this? 年夜饭. That should be 几高美 the New Year's Eve, because30以高美来参加，对不对？应该30。 Yeah, should be the last day. Last day of the lunar new year, the lunar year. The New Year's Eve dinner. All the family members must sit around the cooking pot. The cooking pot. That means that the round. In Chinese, round means the perfect. Means perfect. And means that your families are all safe, are all in happiness. So during these moments, and you have to go back home. Okay, it's a kind of to signify the reunion. Okay, let's take a break. For 10 minutes. So during the New Year's Eve party or dinner, and all family members should sit together within along the round table. Must be a round table, and there is a boiling pot, 火锅, a boiling pot in the middle of the table. That means that all members are together to observe the year. Observe the year. Why observe the year? Why you say that observe the year? Do you know why? Why observe that all sitting together and eating the food, and that food must be very, very much food, more than you can eat. You cannot eat it up. If you eat it up, that means that your fortune next year will be out. So there must be food left. Must be food left. And then you have to observe the year. Okay? 先读。什么叫做守岁？为什么要守岁？ Why you have to observe the year?
Actually, I don't know what is observe the year. I have heard, but I don't know. I don't know what and how and when.
How? Okay. What is the year? What is the definition of year? What is year? Y-E-A-R. In traditional China, in the Asian China, what is year? Year is what? Is an animal. Year is an animal who eating people. Year animal, 年兽. Year is the name of an animal who go out of the cave once in a year. Once in a year, the first year of the new year. These animals come out of his cave to biting people. So at that time, every family member should sit together, and then the elder people would make sure that everyone is safe. Everyone is safe. You are not out of the house, and then you will get caught by the ear animal. Okay? So that we call that observe the ear, to watch out the ear, to come to catch your family member. Okay? And then, so after the dinner, and then means that you are safe. You are safe. So would give you the red envelope or red pen, 红包. Within the envelope, we have a small amount of money. We call that lucky money. 压岁钱 lucky money. Okay. Next page. Next slide. So, in Taiwan or in China, every festival has its own specific food. Okay, let's take a look at these 3 videos. Write in some words that should be lucky words. Sometimes a poetry, sometimes a poetry. And then there on the letter there are another poetry or a sentence, only a sentence. That should be say something about good about these family members. And how about this? Worship the ancestor. Okay, let's move on according to this list. So on the day 1, January 1st, in the morning when you wake up, you should prepare food to worship the ancestors. The ancestor means your deceased father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, and great-grandfather, grandmothers, all. Then you have to worship them. And then the second one, sometimes this is, usually we do this at home. But in nowadays, people goes to the temple, because their ancestors played. Plate. We have a wooden plate in every household. In every household, we have a plate, a wooden plate. And then we would say that, for example, if this family called Chen, that every generations Chen families, every generation's ancestor, you have a plate of worship at the middle of the living room of every family household. But now, because if you have a plate, every day you have to worship the plate with the incense. So when I was a child, every morning my job is when I wake up, my job before I brush my teeth, I have to go to light up the incense and then worship. First, I have to light up three incense, 3 sticks of incense. The first one, I have to go to the front gate to worship the earth god, to Dikong. And then the second one to our back door, another earth god. And then to be in front of the plate and then worship our ancestors and put the incense in the containers. But now, nowadays, every day you have to do that. Every day you have to do that. But if you go abroad, if you travel to Taipei, who can do that for you? You are only a small family, right? Small family. Nobody can do that for you. In the agriculture days, you are big families. So every day there must be a members at home. So they can do that for you. But nowadays, in a home, in your family, you have maybe only three members: father, mother, and a son or a daughter. 3 people. If you go abroad or if you travel to Taipei or to Taiwan, nobody can do that, and it's not good for your ancestors. So now, usually many families put the plate in the temple. In the temple. Yeah, my family, we do that. We do that. So we have to pay some money to a place that my family's ancestors' place can be put there. And then if I go abroad, or I cannot go there every day to worship. But New Year, Lunar New Year, and finally, later we will talk about the Tomb Sweeping days and the Moon Festival. These 3 days are most important. And then my family members would go to the temples where my ancestor place is put, and then go there to worship. Your family do that too? Yeah, in a temple. 你们家的祖先牌位放在家里面，还是放在庙里面？放在家里面。How about you? 家里面。Yeah, their place put in their household. Yeah, but I know there are many families put their plate in a temple. You have that in your family in Indonesia. So how do your connection with your ancestors? You have any days that you have during that day you have to memorize your ancestor? You have that kind of festival? No.
For some Muslim.
A Muslim, or for some Muslim, they have a certain days.
So they visit their ancestor graveyard and pray.
Okay. And in Indonesia, your people, you don't have that day. No. Okay. So now the second thing you have to do is don't stay at home. Don't stay at home. You have to go outside to walk. We call that walking the spring. Walking the spring. Spring means the prosperity. Means the prosperity. So if the longer you walk, the more you can earn, you can make, the more money you can make during the new year. So the first day of the year, Lunar New Year, you have to walk out and visiting your relatives and friends and go shopping. Oh, that's good. Go shopping. So when I was in the United States, I studied in Buffalo, New York. There are a few Chinese there. So during the New Year's, we had to study at the universities. After the winter vacation, it's a normal days. But in Toronto, in Toronto, Canada, Toronto, Canada. There are lots of people from Hong Kong. From Hong Kong, they migrated to live in Toronto, Canada. So when I studied there 20 years ago, 25 years ago, during the January 1st, we can see many Chinese from Toronto to visit the Niagara Falls and how do you call that? Not department store. Shopping mall, and shopping mall and outlet. Yeah, now in Taiwan we have outlet mall. 25 years ago, there's only United States and Europe had the so-called outlet mall. So you can see that many Taiwan, not Taiwanese, Chinese people are coming to the outlet mall and shopping mall during the lunar calendar's January 1st, because they still insist that customs. Okay, now the third one. The third one is, the day 2, January 2nd, is the day for a married woman to go back to the ladies, the men's native families, or we call that your natural families, your maiden family. Your maiden family, because in traditional society, it's not good for the married girls to go back to her native family, because that means that something wrong with your marriages. Because actually it's far away. It's far away, and it's abnormal when you go back to visit your native family members. So the only one day is that day is your husbands and your daughter, your sons can come with you to visit your native family. So that customs are very popular in Taiwan. So on that day, the traffic will be very crowded. Okay, next slide. Day 3. And are any special for the day 3? No. Now the younger generations don't understand the custom very much. 慧君，第3天有什么特殊的吗？
第3天我记得好像是老鼠娶新娘吧。
对啊，老鼠娶新娘，那什么意思啊？
他就是要让他们睡晚一点。
哦 ，because
初1、初2的话都比较忙。初3就比较忙。
对。
初1早、
初2早、初3困到饱，初4安怎？祭祀。
就是说农历12月24号是送神的。
对。
那1月初4就是把神。
So because the first 2 days you are very busy. The first day you have to walk long distance, to make sure that you have a good fortune in the new years. And the second day is that you have to go back to your native family. That must be long way traffic. So the third day is a day for your rest, taking rest. So you can sleep late. You can sleep late. The fourth day is the day you welcome the return of the deity of kitchen. Remember, you send off the deity to the heavens with the sweet dumpling, right? Sweet dumpling, and then these days he will come back from the heavens. So you prepare the food to welcome him back home. And then the day 5 is the separation. What is separation? It's a kind of a vacation and now go back to work. Go back to work. So it's a preparing for the starting work. So day 5 is the day of starting work. That means the end, that's for businessmen. That's for businessmen, not for the farmers. Not for the farmers. Okay, next slide. So that's the starting works. And then these are all specific days, but nowadays nobody follow these. So the first 5 days, actually first 2 days. Nowadays the New Year's is about 5 days. New Year vacations is about 5 days. But now this year, this coming New Year will last for 9 days. So everyone planning their New Year vacations. Okay, next. Okay, this one, day 9 is the first day. Is the first day of the deity of the sky. Is the heaven governor. Remember that the tower floor of the temple, it worships the deity of the sky or the governor of the heaven. So during the night, actually the early morning, you will hear a lot of firecrackers. Okay. Now, this one is the day 15 is the Lantern Festival. Day 15 is the Lantern Festival, and this is even in the agricultural society. This is the end. Day 15 is the end of the traditional New Year vacation. Okay, could you play the video? Okay,